Good morning students. In today's video lecture, I will discuss about the topics related to English grammar.
Okay, now let's discuss the first topic, that is the sentence and its kinds. So the sentence is a group of words arranged in proper order. For example, let's see the jumble words. Second, India, populous is country, the most world in the. So we see here that these words are not properly arranged, but when we arrange these words in proper order, it makes complete sense. Let's see the example. India is the second most populous country in the world. Let's see next example. The jumble words are revolves, the, on, axis, earth, its. So when we arrange these words in proper order, it makes complete sense. Let's see the example. The earth revolves on its axis. So this sentence is making complete sense. So it is called sentence. So let's see the conclusion. Jumble words do not make any sense, while the words which are arranged in their proper order make complete sense. This is what we call sentence. Okay. Let's keep in mind, a sentence always begins with capital letter. Second one is, a sentence usually ends with full stop or a mark of interrogation or question mark. Now let's see the difference between sentence and a phrase. Phrase is a group of words that makes sense but not a complete sense. It does not contain subject and verb like a sentence. In order to turn a phrase into a sentence, we have to add some words to it. For example, the Indian government has launched so many schemes for the welfare of the downtrodden. So here, for the welfare, this part of sentence is called phrase because it does not contain subject and verb like a sentence. Next example is, the guests will come during the daytime. So again here, during the daytime is called phrase because it does not contain subject and verb like a sentence. So there is no subject and verb in this part. So this is called phrase. Okay, let's see some other phrases like in the early morning, to begin with, out of curiosity. These are the phrases. Now let's see kinds of sentences. First one is assertive sentence, declarative or statements. We say or state something. In assertive sentences, we say or state something. In interrogative sentence, we ask questions. In imperative sentences, we give order, advice, or make a request. In exclamative sentences, we express some strong or sudden feelings like fear, anger, anxiety, admiration, excitement, etc. And the fifth one is optative sentence. In optative sentence, we express a prayer, keen wish, curse, etc. Optative sentence usually begins with may and wish. Sometimes may remains hidden. Now let's see the examples of assertive sentences. First one is playing outdoor games keeps us fit and healthy. So this is of affirmative kind. Assertive sentences are of two kinds. First one is affirmative and second one is negative. Let's see the second example. I do not love gardening. This is negative sentence. Next one is interrogative sentence. Let's see the examples. Who helps you with your plan? This is affirmative. And next one is why don't you write something special? This is the example of negative. Now imperative sentence. Let's see the examples. Keep quiet. So in imperative sentence we give order, command, advice, request. So in this sentence order or command is given. Next one is don't make excuses. Here order is given. Always obey your parents. Here advice is given. And please let him express his views. Here request has been done. So all these are expressed in imperative sentences like order, command, advice, request. Okay, now let's see exclamative sentences. Let's see the example. What a beautiful girl. Here what a expresses surprise. What a is used before a singular noun. Next example. What a surprise. What pleasant weather. So before an abstract noun or a plural noun we use what without a. So here we cannot write like this or speak like this, what a pleasant weather, because here the rule is that before an abstract noun or a plural noun we use what without using a. Okay, let's see next one. How beautiful the scene is. How fast he ran. Here how expresses surprise. It is used before a modifying adjective, an adverb or a verb. Next example is alas, my uncle is dead. So alas expresses sorrow. Now let's see some more examples of exclamatory sentences. Hurrah, we have won the game. The birthday cake was so good. You are such a liar. I hate you. Bravo, well done. What a tall monument it is. Happy birthday, Rohan. So let's keep in mind, we put an exclamation mark at the end of exclamatory sentences. Next one is optative sentence. Let's see the example. May the king of Rome live long. So here at the end of the sentence there is exclamation mark. May God bless you. May God give peace to the departed soul. Wish you a very happy married life. may you succeed in life. All these examples are the examples of optative sentence. Now let's see parts of sentence. There are two parts of sentence. First one is subject and second one is predicate. So what's the subject and what's the predicate? Let's see. First of all, subject. The person or thing we talk about is called subject. And predicate, what we speak about that person or thing is called predicate. Okay. So in another words, we can say that to whom we talk about is called subject and what is said about the subject is called predicate. Okay. Now let's study about the subject and predicate. Let's see the example. Aman passed the exam with flying colors. This sentence is made up of two parts. First one is subject Aman and second one is predicate, that is passed the exam with flying colors. So here we are talking about Aman, that is subject, and what we say about Aman is predicate. Okay. Now points to remember. Here you have to keep in mind that in assertive sentences or statements, the subject is usually placed before the predicate, and in imperative sentences the subject is always you but it is hidden. Means you is not written in imperative sentences but subject is understood. Let's see the examples of imperative sentences. First example is go there, shut the door, don't beat about the bush. Here in these sentences, subject you is understood. We do not write you go there. Instead we write go there. We do not write you shut the door. Instead we write shut the door. So in imperative sentences you is hidden. Now the question is how to find the subject. Let's see. We can find subject of a sentence by taking its verb and asking the question with who or what. Let's see the example. They are going to visit the Red Fort. So here put a question, who is going to visit the Red Fort? The answer will be they. So they is the subject of this sentence. Next example. The Taj Mahal is one of the most famous monuments in India. Now put a question. What is one of the most famous monuments in India? So the answer will be the Taj Mahal. So the Taj Mahal is the subject of this sentence. Okay students, now let's discuss some most important exercises based on the topics I have explained. So let's read the instruction. Identify the following sentences and state whether they are assertive, interrogative, imperative, exclamatory or optative. So let's start the test. Question number 1. Don't forget to submit your assignment tomorrow. So here option A, imperative, is correct option. Question number 2. Where will you go in summer break? So here option B is correct, interrogative. Question 3. Don't break anyone's heart. Here option B is correct, imperative. Question 4. Sophie threw a stone at the glass window. This is assertive sentence, so option A will be correct. Question number 5. What a pleasant surprise. This is exclamatory sentence, so option C will be correct here. Question number 6. Instruction. Rearrange the following words and choose the best alternatives given. Like trees, good, men, for, others, live, after. So here the correct option is B. Good men like trees, live for others. And A option is also correct. Good men live like trees for others. Question number 7. Mother Teresa, one of the great, was servants humanity of. So let's read the options. Servants. Mother Teresa was one of the great of humanity. Mother Teresa was one of the great servants of humanity. Of humanity, Mother Teresa was one of the great servants. Great servants of humanity was one of the Mother Teresa. So here option B, Mother Teresa was one of the great servants of humanity will be correct option. Question number 8. Magical effect hard work brings. So let's read the options. Work hard brings magical effect. Hard work brings effect magical. Work effect brings magical hard. Hard work brings magical effect. So here correct option is D. Hard work brings magical effect. Question number 9. Ignorant man unhappy remains and hews wealth in spite of. So option A, hews wealth remains man and ignorant in spite of unhappy. Option B is an unhappy ignorant man remains in spite of hews wealth. Option C is in spite of huge wealth an ignorant man remains unhappy. And option D is an ignorant man remains unhappy in spite of huge wealth. So the correct option is C. In spite of huge wealth an ignorant man remains unhappy. Question number 10. English of knowledge. Thorough, a, have, must, he. Option A. A thorough knowledge of English he must have. Option B. He must have of English a thorough knowledge. Option C. He have a must thorough knowledge of English. And option D is he must have a thorough knowledge of English. So here option D will be correct. Question number 11. Let's read the instructions. Choose the appropriate predicate parts from the options given and complete the sentences. First one is mischievous children. Option A, should be punished, ought to be punished, should punished, have be punished. So correct option is A, should be punished. Mischievous children should be punished. Question number 12. The beggars in rags. Option A, asking for food. B, asked for food. Option C, asked food. Option D, were asked for food. So here correct option will be B, asked for food. The beggars in rags asked for food. Question number 13. The Indian soldiers, option A, are fought bravely during the Kargil war. Option B, have fought bravely during the Kargil war. Option C, have been fought bravely during the Kargil war. And option D, fought bravely during the Kargil war. So here correct option will be D option. The Indian soldiers fought bravely during the Kargil war. Okay students, in my next video I will cover all the topics of English grammar and other areas also. So please like, share and subscribe my YouTube channel. Thank you for watching.